in the Selenium series, so the prerequisites to go for Selenium is what we should have to know one coding language. So we will go with Core Java. So in the Core Java series, very first thing is what we will learn. Okay, basic Java. Basic Java. In the basic Java, we'll go with very first is what we'll try to understand what is class and object. What is class and object? We'll try to understand. Okay, then after that, one of the elements of the class. What are the elements of the class? So those elements we'll see. What are the elements of the class? One of the first element is what? Variable. Okay, within the class we can declare the variable. Okay, so with this variable we'll learn. With this variable we will learn. So data types and typecasting. Typecasting of those data types. Okay, so then after that, the second members of the class or elements of the class is methods. Okay, methods. With the methods we'll learn. Okay, return keyword in Java. Method and return keywords in Java. The third part we will learn constructor. What is constructor? What is constructor? And with this constructor we will learn this keyword in Java. This is the Java basics only, guys. Okay, if you understood the Java basics, then you can simply go for Java advanced part also. So constructor will learn, and what is the this keyword in constructor? Okay, this keyword in Java. Then after that, next one is what we'll go with. So next one is what we will go with blocks in Java. Blocks in Java. So we have two types of blocks. One of them is what? Instance initializer block, and second one is what? Static initializer block. Okay. IIB means what? Instance initializer block, and SIB means what? Static initializer block. In the basic concept of core Java, okay, in the basic concept of core Java, so we will learn this class and object, elements of the class, all the elements of the class like variable, method, constructor, and blocks. Actually, we have a different types of variable. All the variable we will cover in this series. So then after that, once we will cover these basics of the Java, we will focus mostly on these basics. Okay. Actually, mostly we will focus on these basics of the Java. Almost 10 to 12 hours we'll check this part. Okay. Actually, once you understood the basics of the Java, then only we can able to understand the advanced also. Okay. So that's what we'll focus on mostly on these basics. So in the today's session, we will go with what is the class and object in Java. How to create class in Java. Okay, how to create class in Java, and why we should have to use class in Java. Okay, how will you create class in Java, and what are the multiple ways to execute your application, Java application. That part we will learn in this session. Okay, so simply guys, you can write your application on Notepad, or you can write your application on Edit++, or you can use any IDE also. Okay, integrated development environment, IDE also. So we'll write as a beginner, we'll develop the application in Notepad or Edit++. So in this first session, we'll use Notepad only. Okay, how to develop your Java application in Notepad. So simply I will open Notepad. This is the Notepad you can able to see. So within this Notepad, we'll write our first Java application. So actually guys, how to create class in Java? So to create class in Java, we will use class keyword. Okay. So what is the syntax to create class in Java? Syntax is like this. Okay. Class keyword followed by class name. Class keyword followed by class name with opening and closing curly bracket. So this is your class. Within this class area, you can write any business logic. So once you create class, within this class area, you can declare your members of the class, that is elements of the class. You can declare variable within this class. Okay, this is the class area. We can say class area. Double slash means what? Comment in the Java. Okay. This is your class area. Within this class area, we will write some, or we will declare the members of the class or elements of the class. Like we can able to declare variable within this class. We can able to declare methods within this class or constructor within this class. Okay. As well as blocks also. Blocks also we can have. So when we should have to go with variable, when we should have to go with method, constructor and block. All these parts we will learn. Okay. And what is the use of variable? What is the use of method, constructor and block? Those parts also we will learn. Okay, in the beginning session. So let me try to create class. So what is the syntax to create class in Java? We create class in Java by using this class keyword followed by class name. Let me take class name as this is my first class. Okay, this is we are writing first application in Java. To write a first application in Java, just I will say my first class. This is opening and closing curly bracket. So within this we'll write the logic. Okay, but you know guys, once you create a class, if you want to execute the logics of your class, your logics will be executed. Okay, or your class logics execution will start from main method. Okay, your class logics will start from this main method. This is a main method in Java, and when you write the logics, your logics will execute from this main method. So how to declare main method then? We create main method like this. Always main method should be public, having a static keyword, public static void, and this main is what? Method name, and this is what? Main method syntax. Okay, all of this is what? Main method syntax, and your execution, your class execution will always start at this main method. Let's system dot, I want to display some hello message to the console, so I will write hi all, welcome to Vision IT. Okay, so this is the application I have written. So this is the class I have declared, class, my class. So this is the class area. This cursor and this cursor is a class area. Within this class area, just we have written main method. Okay, so this system.out.println, this is a predefined class having a method which will help us to display some message to the console. How to save any Java application? To save any Java application, so what is your class name? Always save your Java application with your class name. So let me copy this class name. Click on File, click on Save As. So what is class name? My class, my first class dot extension should be Java. Let me save this my class first class dot Java on desktop only. Okay, save it. So just go to the desktop and just check. You see the my class dot Java dot class file, what, like just class what created. Okay, just class what created. So how to execute this Java application? Observe carefully. To execute this Java application which you have developed, this is the Java application we developed. So to execute this Java application, so we can execute it in multiple ways, but one of the ways is what, whenever you are going to write your Java application on Notepad or Edit++, we should have to run your Java application through command prompt. What is command prompt? Just click on Window R button and just type cmd. So this is called command prompt. Okay, this is called command prompt, guys. Okay, so to compile this Java application, simply use what is class name? My class. The class name is what? My class. First go to the command prompt. First go to the location where you have saved your Java application. So cd my application. cd means what? Change directory. My application is saved on desktop. Just change this directory. Now you are on desktop. Now currently you are on desktop. To compile this Java application, you see. So is there any .class file? When you compile this Java application on this desktop, okay, on this desktop, this is command prompt. On this desktop, you can able to see we don't have any .class file. When you compile this Java application, Rupesh, wait, I will explain for you. Okay, go on mode. Okay, when you compile this Java application, simply one dot plus file will get generated. What is the dot plus file? That also I will explain you. So how to compile? We compile by using Java C command. What is the application name? My first class dot Java. Like that we will compile. The moment you will compile this Java application, one dot plus file will get generated. So the dot plus file is nothing but, you see, this is called myclass.java. If you right click on that myclass.java and if you click on my properties, like properties, you see what is the extension of this dot plus file, my first class.java. The extension should be dot class. You see, the extension should be dot class. So simply, why the dot plus file will get generated? Why the dot plus file will get generated? Actually, what happened guys, when you compile your application, okay, so one memory will get allocated. That is called static memory of the class. That is called class memory. Only for static members of the class. Okay, we have a static and non-static only. In Java language, we have only two parts, static part and non-static part. We have to observe. To run this application logic, like, hi all, welcome to Vision IT. This you want to display on the console. To run this application logic, how should I have to run? Just use Java application name. Java my first class. You see, the message will get displayed to the console. Hi all, welcome to Vision IT. Okay, this is the first application we developed in Java on Edit++. Okay, this one is the first application we have in Java. So we have almost 50 keywords in Java. We will use all those keywords. How to create class in Java? We create class in Java by using class keyword followed by class name. Okay, we create class in Java by using class keyword. We just use followed by class name. The syntax for this is what we see: class keyword followed by class name. And this is the opening and closing curly bracket. Within this, we will define the class element, that is variable, method, constructor, and block. So just first application we have written here. Just first application we have written here to display hello message. Okay. So to execute this logic, we have done two operations. What are the two operations we have done? One operation we have done. First we compiled it. To compile this application, we use command Java C. What is the application name? Application name is what? My first class dot Java. This is the command we have run to compile that Java application. The moment you compile this Java application, what happens? So one dot plus file will get generated. Yes or no? The moment you compile this Java application, there is a one dot plus file what got generated. That is what with the name my first class dot class file. Okay. On the desktop you can see this is the dot plus file got generated. Okay. The moment the dot plus file will get generated, what will happen? So one memory will get allocated. That is called common memory of the class. This memory is called class memory. Okay. Class memory, or this memory is called static memory. Actually everything, this memory management will be done by the Java compiler. Okay. So this memory will be created only once when you compile your Java application. Okay, this memory will be created only once when you compile your Java application. Once you compile your Java application, one class memory will be created. Within this class memory, all the static members of the class like static method, static variable. As of now, we don't have any static variable, or as of now, we don't have any other static method. We have only main method, which is what static. This main method will get loaded into this. This main method will get loaded into this static memory. Okay. And when you execute this program, how to execute? Okay. How to execute? When you start execute your program, to execute this or run your program, we run this program like this. To run this application, we use Java my class. This command we will do. The moment you will run this application, Java compiler will hit or will start your execution from main method. So main method will be start. all the logics whichever you have written within the main method, those logics will get executed, and finally your execution will stop at the main method. This is the first application we developed. So let me know if you have doubt. Up to that, is there any doubt? So under class and object, this IIB is nothing but instance initializer block. This IIB is nothing but static initializer block. Okay. So how to create class? How to create class in Java? So actually, how to create? We written first. To create class in Java, we will use class keyword followed by class name. What is the syntax? You can see the syntax. And within this class area, double slash means what? Comment, non-executable statement. Guys, ask your queries in chatbot, okay? Or once you ask the queries, you can go on mute. I'm recording the session. So this is what first class, like how to create class. We create class in Java by using class keyword followed by class name. There is some naming convention, okay? Class name should be start with capital letter, okay? There should not be any space within this class, like name, like that. Class name should not start with numbers. Okay. First, Java application. We say for Java application to display some message. Okay. What is the first Java application we have developed? This one is the first Java application we have developed. My first class. Copy this and let me store here. This is the first class. First Java application to display some message. Write this. Let's see, guys, how we will use class in Java. So you see, this is my class, my first class. Let me give this name of the class is what? Just test. So we'll give the name of this class as just test. You can give any name of the class. Within this class area, you can declare variable. This is the class area, okay? So this one is the class area. Within this class area, you can declare anything. Let me create a simply. If you want to create static variable, just use static keyword like static int k. So this is the integer kind of variable holding. So this is k is a integer kind. This is variable name. K is variable name. What is the type of this variable? Integer type. Just because of that, it's holding only integer value. So if you want to create instance variable, how will you create instance variable? Let me create one instance variable int I is equals to 100. So if you don't want to use any static, if you don't use any static keyword, then that variable is treated as instance variable. This is called static variable. This is called static variable, and this is called instance variable. Instance variable. We created this variable within the class area, as well as why we are saying this is static variable, just because of that this variable is created with static keyword. This variable is created without static key. Okay. Similarly, we can able to create, if you create any method, it's static keyword. So this is method creation. Okay, how to create method and all we'll see in method chapter. Okay. So this is like public static void. I will write m1. This is a method. M1 is a method, and this is simply m1 method area. So this method is started here, and this method will simply finish here. And within this method logic, this is static method. Okay, static method area. That's why we will say this is static area. If method is static, then we will say that method area is what? Static. So when you write any statement within, like by using 2 backslash, it will be treated as a comment in Java, and that will be a non-executable code. Okay, that will be non-executable code. Here we are writing this. Okay, so simply here within I will write to execute this method or to display some message from this method. I will write only static. This is static m1 method. This is static m1 method. If you want to create any other method like instance method, how will you create instance method? The instance method is we will create without static keyword public. So what is public? Public is a access specifier. Okay. In packages concept we will learn. What is static? It is a keyword in Java. Okay. Static we will use to make any variable as a static, to make any method as a static. Okay. So simply this is em2 method. Okay. To display this is em2 method, but without static keyword we have created. That is why it is called instance. It is called instance em2 method. You know guys, for instance we will call non-static. Non-static. For instance we will call non-static also. Instance variable or non-static variable. Here also this is instance method area, that is called instance area. If method is instance, what is the method area? Then that method area will be called as instance area. Then that method area will be called as instance area. And you know, in previous example we have seen that your execution will always start at main method, and main method should be always public static void main, like this. Okay, and this is your main method. Okay, what happened in previous example we have seen, when you compile this Java application, one dot class file will get generated. Okay, when you compile this test application, one dot class file will get generated. Let me save this file. Save as. I will save this file here in Java practice folder. Okay, within this Java practice folder we will save. Click on save. Once you will save this file, it will be saved within this Java practice folder. Okay, when you compile this application, okay, when you compile this application, one dot class file will get generated. Okay, so let me compile. Just use, how to compile? Just use Java C. What is the application name? Test.java. But you see, we are finding this test.java on desktop location, but we are getting use help or just use list. Actually, this test.java is not found on desktop. We should have to move to the Java practice folder. Just use Java cd Java practice. On desktop we have this folder, Java practice folder. Now compile Java C. What is the application name? Test.java. So as a beginner, practice on Edit++ or Notepad, guys. Okay. So we compiled it. To run it, just use Java. Application name is what? Test. So what is running? Previous application running. Whatever application will be there previously, that previous application is running. Actually, this application is not running. Okay. If you go here on Java practice folder, is there any test? Yes, we have a test.java. Let me select this. Okay, let me select this one also. This dot class file I will select, and I will delete this dot class file. Hit delete. Okay, now observe carefully, or else what I will do. So in file handling, we have a lots of files. So for your better understanding, I will create new folder. How the dot class file will get generated, I will show you. So right click, go to new, click on folder, just Java. Okay, write down just Java. Within this Java folder, we will save this file, test.java. Okay, to save this file, just go to the file, click on this file, click on save as, and click like what is the application name? Test.java. With the test.java name, we are going to save. On desktop, we have a Java folder. I will save. Now go to that folder. Now you see, this is the file we have created, test. Okay. Now observe carefully. When you compile this application, one dot class file will get generated. And what will happen when the dot class file will get generated? So this is the folder. Let me open command prompt. This is the command prompt. Observe carefully. Okay. So clear previous one. So where it is? So you are on. You should be on desktop. Okay. To move backward, just use dot dot. Okay, sorry, cd. So now currently you are on desktop. So again, just move on Java folder, cd change directory. Now you change the directory into what? Java. Now compile it. Just use Java. See what is the application name? Test.java. The moment you will compile, observe carefully, in this location, one dot class file will get generated at this location. Okay. Hit on enter. Okay. You see, this is the dot class file will get generated. This is called dot class file. Okay. So so this file is called dot class file. When the dot class file will get generated, actually, when the dot class file will get generated, what will happen? You will compile your Java application only once. Once you will compile your Java application, one dot class file will get generated. That is called, during dot class file generation, one memory will get allocated. That memory is called class memory or static memory of the class. You will say static memory of the class. And this static memory will be allocated only to the static members of the class. Now you just tell me how many members are there? Only static. We have one variable that is called static, whose variable name is what? Case. We have one method that is what? Static. The method name is what? M1. We have one more method which is what? Static. The method name is what? Main method. All these will get loaded into this common memory of the class. Okay, main method will get loaded into this common memory of the class, as well as M1 method will get loaded into common memory of the class, as well as variable also will get loaded into this common memory of the class. Then what about this instance variable and instance method? Then the memory will get allocated for the instance variable and instance method. Is there any idea? For instance variable and instance method, the memory will get allocated when you create object. Now the question will arise here, how to create object. So we have seen how to create class. We create class in Java by using class keyword followed by class name. Now question will arise here, how to create object in Java to allocate memory to the non-static members of the class. Yes or no? How to create object to allocate memory to the non-static members of the class. So guys, we create object in Java by using new keyword. So let me create object. We create object in Java by using new keyword followed by class name. What is the class name? Class name is test with opening and closing parenthesis. What is this? This statement is called object creation. So the moment you will write this statement, what will happen? One object will get created. It means the moment object will get created, all the instance members of the class like instance variable I, instance method M2 will get loaded into this object memory. Object created means what? Memory will get allocated to the non-static variable, non-static method. To the non-static variable and non-static method. So actually this is the memory address. Okay, this is the memory address. So to give the name to this memory address, we will create a reference. That is called, to give the name to this memory address, we can able to create a reference variable. You see, test T, I will create a reference variable. Okay, and whenever, what is small t? T is the reference variable name. T is the reference variable name which will hold the memory address of an object. Actually, this statement will create an object that is called physical memory address. To hold this physical memory address, we have created one reference variable that is called T. If you create any reference variable in Java, so you know, if you create any variable which is what? Integer type, then the type of the variable is what? Int. If you create any variable, okay, which is what? Any string variable, if you store any string data like that, Vasant you store, you have written Vasant. So this is a string data. If you create any object like string type, then the type of this yes variable is what? String. Actually you are holding string data. Similarly, if you create object and you are going to create a variable for that object, every reference variable or every reference you will create on the object will be having a data type as class name. How we are going to create object? We creating object by using class name only now. Okay, new keyword followed by class name. Like that we are creating object. Some memory address we are creating. If you are creating object by using class name, and if you are creating some memory address, then the return type of that memory address should be class name. Should be that class name. You see, test is the class name. What is here? Test is my class name. That is what, if you create reference variable, the return type of this is what? Class name. Is it clear? Up to that, why we create objects and why we create, like, when the memory will get allocated for the static members of the class, and when the memory will get allocated for the instance members of the class. For static members of the class, memory will get allocated when the dot class file will get generated. That is means when bytecode will get converted into memory. Dot class file generation is nothing but, okay, bytecode will get convert into memory. What is bytecode? Actually, your system doesn't understand what you are writing in string format. Okay, your system doesn't understand what you are writing in string format. It understands only binary, zeros and one. Your system understands only binary, zeros and one. So once you compile this application, dot class file will get generated. All this bytecode, this is called bytecode, this string format will get converted into a binary, and the memory will get allocated for the static members. And for instance members of the class, when you create object at runtime, when you started execution at main method, you're creating object. The moment you create object, instance members of the class will get loaded into this object. Okay, then only we can able to access static members of the class and instance members of the class in Java. Now, how to access? To access instance members of the class, on this memory address we will access. Okay, what is the reference variable name which holding the memory address of this class? Small t is the reference variable name. Just use system.out.println. This statement is used to display some value to the console. T dot, what is the variable name? I. Okay. Similarly, to display, to access static members of the class, we will use class name. Actually, static members of the class are belongs to class, and instance members of the class are belongs to object. So whatever instance members will be there, we will use by using instance members will use by using reference variable name. This T is the reference variable name, and the static members will use by using class name. Okay. So to call this M1 method and M2 method, okay, you should have to use some calling statement of the method. So to call instance method, we will use on that reference T.M1. This statement is called, okay, instance method calling statement. Instance method calling statement. When you call the method, then only that method logic will get executed. How to call static method? To call static method, just use, what is the class name? Class name is what? Test. What is the method name? Method name is what? So actually method name is what? M1 for static method and M2 for instance method. Okay, M2 for instance method. This is called, pricing class name we are calling static method. This is called static method calling statement. Okay, so let me compile this application and run this application. We have already compiled, but again I will compile. Just use Java C. What is the application name? Test.java. This is the compilation part, and let me run. Java, what is the application name? Test. Now you see, by using reference variable name, you are accessing instance variable. By using class name, we are accessing static variable. What is the value for static variable? The value for static variable is what? 10. The value for instance variable is what? 100. We are calling instance method by using reference variable. We are calling static method by using class. So this is the output which you will get. Am I clear? Up to that, any doubt? When you write the Java logics within the class, your logics will be divided in two parts. What are the parts? Two parts. What are those two parts? Static members of the class, and second part is what? Non-static members of the class. Non-static members of the class. Okay. For static members of the class, memory will get allocated during compilation time. And for instance members of the class, that is called non-static members of the class, memory will get allocated when you create a object. So how to create object? We have seen. We create object by using new keyword followed by class name like this. Okay. You see here. So actually, what is new here? New is a keyword, guys. So new is a keyword in Java. Keyword in Java, which is used to create object. Which is used to create object. So how to create object? Always we will use new keyword. What is test here? Test is a class name. Test is a class name. What is small t here? Small t is nothing but reference variable name. Reference. This is called reference variable. Okay. Just write this. So what is new? What is what is test? What is small t? So new is a keyword. Test is a class name. Okay, and this part is called new. Test of this part is called object part. This is called object. This is called object in Java. And this test of this part we will call constructor. Constructor part. This is called constructor in Java. So actually we will see the constructor part in constructor section. In constructor, you see. You should have to know. So write this much. So let's define, guys. Let's will define what is class, what is object here. So let me clear this. So you see what is class here? This is the class, and within this class area we are writing some logics. We are writing some business logic. So if you want to define class in Java, how will you define class? We simply say that. How will you define class? I will say class is a logical entity which contains logic of an application. Yes or no? Can you able to observe here? So within this class we are writing logics of an application. Within this class area we will write logics of an application. So simply this is the class. Within this class area, this is the class. Within this class area, I am writing the logics of an application. That is why we are defining class like this. Class is a logical entity which contains logics of an application. So there is one more definition of the class. We can define class like this also. So actually, this object, if you want to create object, if class is not there, you can't able to create object. So like that, by using new keyword, you can able to create multiple objects. By using new keyword, you can able to create multiple objects. So I will say, what is the class? First definition of class. We define class like this. So class is a logical entity. Class is a logical entity which contains logic of an application, or we will define class like this also. So class is a factory. Class is a factory which generates multiple objects. So why we are saying that class is a factory which generates multiple objects? If you write like by using new keyword followed by class name, you can write this statement multiple times at runtime. When you start your Java application, you can able to write multiple times this statement. If you write this statement multiple times, the number of times you will write this statement new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing. So every time the new object will be created. Every time when you write this statement, every time the new object will be created. Okay. So that's what we are saying, that by using class we can able to generate multiple objects. So once you have a factory, within that factory you can able to generate multiple objects. Yes or no? So let's suppose pen is a one kind of object. You have a factory. So within that factory you got the formula to generate a to develop a pen. Similarly, if you have a class, class we are creating like that we are treated like that a factory. So within this factory we can able to generate multiple objects by using new keyword followed by simply class name. Okay, so that's what we are defining class in this way also. What is the second way? So class is a factory which generates multiple objects, or we can define class like this also, or class is a blueprint, okay, which decides object creation. You know guys, if you want to construct a house, but you don't have an architect, okay, architect design you don't have, can you able to construct house? No. If you don't have an architect design, you can't able to construct a house. You can able to construct a house, but so there is no guarantee you will construct. Similarly here, so if you have a class, if the class is there, then only you can able to create object. You see, if class is not there, we are creating class by using class name with opening and closing parentheses. If class is not there, you can't able to create object. That is what we are saying, that we are defining class is a blueprint which decides object creation. Am I clear? Class is a blueprint which decides object creation. Yes or no? How to create class? We create class in Java. By using class keyword. Okay. Followed by class name. Like that we will create class in Java. So how to create object then? What is object? Anyone? You know how to create object in Java? We create object in Java by using new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parentheses. Okay, like that we will create object. You see, object creation statement. If we have a class and the class is what? Test. To create an object in Java, we will use new keyword followed by class name with opening and closing parentheses like this. This statement is called object creation statement. This is called object creation statement in Java. Okay. The moment you create object, so physical memory address will be created. So for that, to define object in Java, how will you define? Okay. So object, if you create object, immediately only non-static variable, non-static method will get loaded into that object memory. Okay. That is why if you want to define object in Java, how will you define? So to define object in Java, we will define object is an instance of the class, or object is an instance of the class which represents memory address. Actually, when you create this, when you write this statement, the moment you will write this statement, what will happen? One memory address will be created. So this is called physical address. This memory address is nothing but some physical address will be created. So that is what we will say. So object is an instance of the class which represents some physical address or some memory address. Or we will define object like this also. Object is an instance of the class, instance of non-static members of the class. Instance of the class which holds only non-static members of the class. Actually, when you create object, only non-static members will get loaded into that object. Okay. So why we create object in Java? To allocate a memory to the non-static variable and non-static method or non-static constructor. Constructor is also non-static. So for that we create object. Am I clear? So now you see, let me go here. So in this example, you just tell me what is small t. So we are saying small t is a reference variable. Yes or no? So small t is a reference variable. What it is doing, small t is holding the memory address of an object. And what is the data type for this small t? Class name. Class name is the data type. Yes or no? Just write down. So in the above example, small t is a reference variable. Like this is a reference variable. Okay, small t is a reference variable which holds memory address of an object. Which holds memory address of an object. And having data type as class name. This is memory reference variable. It is data type class name. So guys, in every Java application, you can able to create multiple objects. The number of times you will create object by using new keyword followed by class name. So particularly that memory will get allocated. Let's suppose you created 3 times object by using new keyword followed by class name. Okay, 3 objects will be created, and 3 times the memory will get allocated for the instance members of the class. Like all the instance members of the class will get loaded into this object. Like m2 method will get loaded into this object, as well as I variable will get loaded. Here also m2 method will get loaded, as well as I variable will. Here also m2 method will get loaded, as well as I variable. When you create multiple objects, but for this is for instance members of the class. How many objects you created? 3 objects you created. For 3 objects, 3 times the copy will get created for the instance members of the class, like instance variable, instance method, and instance block or constructor. Okay, they will get 3 copies will get created for those. But you see, when you compile your Java application during compilation time, so in common memory of the class, that is called class memory, only static members of the class will get load. K variable, main method, m1 method, they will get load only once during compilation time. Actually, before going to start your execution at main method, your Java application will compile. So during compilation time, only once the memory will get allocated for the static members of the class. Okay. So when you compare with static members and instance members, how many times you created static members? Only once. Only once you created static members during compilation time. How many times you created instance members? Depends on object creation. The number of times you create object, that number of times these instance members will be created. So if you compare, okay, performance wise, who will be better then? Who will be better? Static or instance? Yes. Akshay, you just tell me. Static members will be better or instance members will be better?
Instance.
Static members will be better. Just because of that, you are creating only once, and only once the memory will get allocated. If you like, let's suppose you got a one movie. Okay. Once you got one movie on pen drive, can you able to create 10 folder in your system and store that movie in 10 different folders? If you create 10 folder and storing that movie in different folder, what will happen? Duplicate copy you are creating. Unnecessarily, you are wasting your memory address. If you are wasting your memory address, means your performance of the system will be reduced. Similarly, here in Java memory management also, if you create object multiple times, the memory will get allocated for the instance members of the class, and duplicate copy will be created. If the duplicate copy will be created, so obviously the performance of the application will be reduced. Okay. So comparison to instance members, static members are better. Okay. Just write down in one statement. Static members of the class are belongs to class static members of the class are belongs to class and will be load only once, during compilation time, into common memory of the class, into common memory of the class. Whereas instance members of the class are belongs to, an object and will get load into object during object creation. Will get load during object creation. Okay, let me repeat once again. Static members of the class are belongs to class. And will get load during compilation time into common memory of the class. Whereas instance members of the class are belongs to, an object and will get load into object memory during object creation. Okay, next line. So copy of the static members will be created only once during compilation time, whereas copy of the instance members will be create multiple times. Okay, multiple times based on object creation, and hence we can say that static members of the class are better than non-static members of the class, performance wise. Static members of the class are better than non-static members. Okay. So why we use static keyword? You see why we use static keyword in application. Come again. Here we are using static keyword. Here we are using static keyword. If you want to make any variable as static, if you want to make any method as static, then we will use static keyword. If you don't want to make any variable method as static, we don't use. Okay. Simply write down what is static. So what is static? So static is a keyword in Java. Which is used to represent static members of the class. I hope you get it.